there either. No, you know.
I would ask everyone other than emergency services and law enforcement to please silence their cell phones and ask everyone to please rise. This is the Wednesday, March 12th, 2025 Board of Commissioner, Lenawee County Board of Commissioners meeting. We will have the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by our County Clerk, Roxanne Holloway.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, as we meet this afternoon, please be with us. Guide our thoughts, our ideas, and decisions. Bless all who are present. We ask that you inspire us and lead us in our time together. In your name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Clerk Holloway. Call the meeting to order and ask the clerk to please read the roll.
Commissioner Inks.
Here.
Commissioner Blanco. Here. Commissioner Collins.
Here.
Commissioner Daly.
Here.
Commissioner Krasny.
Here.
Commissioner Martis.
Here.
Commissioner Stimson.
Here.
Commissioner Tillotson. Commissioner Van Doren.
Here.
9 present.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes of February 12th, 2025 would be in order.
So move.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Commissioner Blanco. Additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
If there are no other amendments to the agenda, I would move that they be as presented.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Martis. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Petitions and communications.
I do have one resolution from Livingston County. It's a resolution to support local control and claim of appeal against Michigan Public Service Commission order. And that's all that I have.
Commissioners? Thank you. Introduction of special guests. Limited public comment on items on the agenda. Limited public comment for any items on the agenda. I didn't have any forms sent up to me, but is there any limited public comment? Thank you. Resolutions and proclamations. We have a severe weather awareness proclamation to be presented to Craig Tanis from Commissioner Ungst. Presented by Commissioner Ungst.
Thank you. I'm honored to be presenting this today with my 40 years in public safety. I am young enough that I didn't experience the tornado of 1965, thank goodness, but we've certainly had some tornadoes come through our county since then. So we're definitely prone to them. So here's the proclamation. Whereas Lenawee County recognizes the potential impact that severe weather events can have on communities, infrastructure, and the economy. Severe weather can occur at any time, and understanding the importance of being prepared will help individuals act effectively when alerts are issued. And whereas Michigan experiences a wide range of severe weather events throughout the year due to its location in the Great Lakes region. Spring and summer bring numerous thunderstorms that can produce lightning, hail, strong winds, and occasionally tornadoes. Winter storms can lead to power outages and hazardous driving conditions. And whereas increasing public awareness and education is essential to ensure the safety and well-being of individuals, businesses, and communities during severe weather events, and whereas collaboration with government agencies, emergency responders, and the community is vital for enhancing preparedness and response capabilities, and whereas it is encouraged for all individuals to develop and maintain emergency kits, evacuation plans, and communication strategies to implement during severe weather. Practicing these emergency weather plans is just as important as developing them. And therefore, be it resolved that the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners recognizes the valuable contributions of the local emergency management boards and expresses its sincere appreciation for their commitment to the well-being of individuals, schools, and businesses across the county. And be it further resolved that the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners proclaims March 2025 as Severe Weather Awareness Month in Lenawee County and encourages families, schools, and businesses to develop and practice their emergency plans, including shelter-in-place, evacuations, and communication strategies to enhance their preparedness for severe weather events. Passed by a roll call vote of the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners at the regular meeting held Wednesday, March 12th, 2025 in the Old County Courthouse, Adrian, Michigan. I so move.
Support.
A motion by Commissioner Unk, supported by Commissioner Tillotson. Discussion. Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Van Doren,
Yes.
Commissioner Unks,
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco,
Yes.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Daly, Commissioner Krasny,
Yes.
Commissioner Martis.
Yes.
Commissioner Stimson,
Yes.
Commissioner Tillotson,
Yes.
9 yeas.
Resolution passes.
I'd just like to say thank you to the commission for helping to promote this. Also, next Thursday, March 20th, we will have the annual Lenawee County Tornado Siren Test at 5:55 PM. And I will also be on WLEN this Saturday to promote Severe Weather Awareness Month. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a couple special presentations today. The first one will be our annual drain report by Ed Scheffler, Lenawee County Drain Commissioner. Commissioner?
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
I want to thank you all for the opportunity to present our 2024 Drain Commissioners Annual Report. This report is submitted in compliance with Act 40 of Public Acts of 1956. We refer to that as the Michigan Drain Code. I'll provide a brief and hopefully quick overview of the report. I'm sure everyone's read every page of it. So the duties of the Drain Commissioner are established by the statute, the Michigan Drain Code, as well as those delegated by the Board of Commissioners. We're currently responsible for the administration, operation, and maintenance of 9 sewer systems, 4 water systems, and the administration and maintenance of 714 different drainage districts throughout the county. That encompasses over 1,500 miles of storm sewer drains. Additionally, we administer the soil erosion and sedimentation control program for our county. We do stormwater reviews for many of the municipalities in our county, plat reviews, and we also manage 7 lake levels within the county. On page 4 of the report is a list of our staff, our current staff. We're very fortunate to have a wonderful team of skilled and dedicated staff. Each and every one of them plays a vital role in making making it all come together. And sometimes they're in kind of unpleasant work environments. So on page 5 through page 8, it shows the drain and special assessment history dating back to 1961. A grand total of over 38 million has been invested in maintaining and improving our vital infrastructure in our county. Pages 9 through 14 is the 2024 drain assessment rule. In 2024, we assessed 178 drains and 4 lake levels for maintenance and improvement projects. That total was over $1.2 million. Pages 26 through 31 contain a drain order summary, our drain order summary report, and our drain fund balance reports are found on pages 32 through 51. In regards to the soil erosion and sedimentation control program, there were a total of 66 soil erosion and sedimentation control permits issued within our county and administered through the program. That summary is on pages 52 and 53. Then page 54 contains a summary of requests that we've received either via municipal requests or private landowner requests. And they included 17 culvert sizings, 115 drain permits, 5 stormwater reviews, and 141 drain maintenance projects, which include 23 miles of open ditch cleanout, 54 miles of brush and tree removal, and herbicide treatment of 14 miles. That's a total of about 92 miles of maintenance in our county last year. And pages 60 through 97, they contain all of our year-end fund balance sheets for the sewer and water systems that our office operates. And that's about a real quick and brief overview of it. If you have any questions, I can try to answer.
Questions for Commissioner Scheffler? Commissioner Krasny?
How's the drone working out?
So we haven't got it completely up and running yet. We've been running trials, and we hope that by spray season, which should be in May sometime, we should be able to get some product.
Thank you.
I move we would accept his report and place it on file.
Have a motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Mardos. Discussion. Any more questions for the Drain Commissioner? Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Report on file. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job out there. Say thanks to all your employees for us. We have with us this afternoon, Julie Weatherby, the CEO of Wellwise Services, along with Nicole Baker, the Chief Services Office, for a presentation or for the annual report of Wellwise Services for Area on Aging annual report. Julie, welcome. That on?
I believe
That
her mic is.
green light on?
Oh, there. Okay. Thanks for inviting me today, and you should have a copy of my report. Our report represents funding from October 1st through January 31st. Our annual reports detail spent funds, so they're not the total budgeted funds for the year. And the semi-annual report includes our Older Americans Act funding. Note that contractors are permitted to submit transfer requests, which allows for budget flexibility in the current fiscal year. So sometimes, like Lenawee Department on Aging will put in a request to transfer funds between congregate and home delivered meals wherever the larger need is. Our contractors submit monthly cash requests and budget reports, and then we use those to distribute funds and request funds from the state of Michigan. For NSIP, Those are special meal funds, and those funds are issued to nutrition providers based on the previous year meal counts. So what happens is ACL looks at all the meal counts from all the states and then decides on how the funds are going to be distributed. So right now, we do not know the amount of the funds because all the states in the United States have to submit their numbers before the funding is formulated and passed out. So we're hoping to get notice of that either this month or in April. Our annual implementation plan, we're getting ready to start on that for the year. The ACLS Bureau extended our current 3-year plan to a 4th year because they want our plans for each of the area agencies on aging to align with the state plan on aging. And so pretty soon here, we're going to be issuing our community needs survey, and that we use data from that to allocate funds and to work on programming for the upcoming year. MDHHS launched the annual planning platform used for fiscal year 26. However, there's some guidance missing on how exactly they want us to use the plan. We were at a meeting yesterday and the guidance is still outstanding. So we'll get busy on that as soon as the software updates were done. And, when we were in the meeting yesterday, they were working on them while we were in the meeting. So as soon as we have that, we'll be working on the plan. As far as agency updates, we, of course, remain heavily involved in advocacy efforts to our elected officials, both in the state of Michigan and at the federal level. Nicole will be attending the policy briefing in Washington, D.C. at the end of the month. Fiscal year 24 was a difficult year for us for budgeting. We didn't find out about our full year funding until June. So as you can imagine, when our year ends at the end of September, it was hard to plan and know what we could award to our contractors until we found out what that funding was. So we managed to do it, but it was a challenge. For this year, I'm sure most of you know that we're all waiting to see what happens on March 14th to see, if there's another continuing resolution or if there'll be a full year funding for the federal budget. And of course, we're concerned about cuts to Medicaid because we do have the My Choice Waiver Program, which is very important for our communities, as well as we're concerned about funding cuts to the Older Americans Act funding. So, we're working closely with our contractors, and we ourselves, are refining our contingency plans just to make sure we're ready no matter what the case happens to be. Internally, we do use our community needs survey, and we survey others, our board and stakeholders, in case there is a substantial funding cut on how we would prioritize services and programs. And so we're reviewing that, so we're ready, just in case something, a funding cut does come down. We were recently named a grantee in the No Wrong Door grant, which this is a statewide grant funding opportunity that MDHHS put out. Wellwise Services, along with several other contractors around the state, were awarded the funding. And so we're working closely with community partners for doing options counseling and our SHIP work, which is Medicare, Medicaid counseling, formerly called MAP, and now they're going to call it SHIP. And so we were awarded those contracts. And we work closely with Lenawee Department on Aging, as well as the Departments on Aging in the other 2 counties, and then Disability Connections as well, to make sure those services are provided around the 3 counties. The new model will officially launch either in May or June. They haven't given us the official date yet, but we're busy getting ready to do this work. And just so you know, we've all along done options counseling as well as the Medicare, Medicaid counseling. So it's things that we have done before. So we already have processes and things in place. It's just some extra funding. There's going to be a statewide call-in number where anybody can call just one number and get routed to the right area of the state where they can get their help. We're excited to announce that Wellwise Services is going to start offering enhanced fitness. I have a flyer here. I'll leave it here on the podium. but that's something we've been working on for a few months. And you can use Silver Sneakers program to offer this funding, and we're going to be having it at our building in Brooklyn starting later this month. So check it out. Our annual meeting will be held in May. That's where our board of directors fills their officer positions for the next year, and committee assignments are announced later in the month, and our annual report is provided as well at that time. So another announcement is I am retiring. So I don't know if you all know that. The end of April, I will be retiring, but the board's in the process of finding my replacement. I can't really make any announcements right today, but we will be doing that soon. So any questions?
Well, congratulations on your retirement. We'll
Thank
miss you
you.
up there. So questions for Julie? I guess not. Well, thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much for your report. We'd also welcome Ms. Rebatero, our Director on Aging. Approval of the consent agenda would be in order.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Commissioner Collins, supported by Commissioner Martis. Discussion. Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Ungst.
Yes.
Commissioner Blanco.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Commissioner Daly. Commissioner Krasny.
Yes.
Commissioner Martis.
Yes.
Commissioner Stimson.
Yes.
Commissioner Tillotson.
Yes.
Commissioner Van Doren.
Yes.
9 yeas.
Consent agenda passes. Standing committee reports, account payable, Commissioner Martis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You have the minutes from our meetings in your packet. We met on the 20th of February and then on the 6th of March. And our total expenditures in our earlier meeting was 3.8 million and change. And the second meeting was 2,590,000 and change, for a total of $6,441,580.86.
We probably really need those numbers for the report, the change,
Oh,
total amount.
okay, well,
Sorry.
yeah, I did give you the total, but I will break it out. $3,851,327.21 for the earlier meeting, $2,590,253.65 in the second, for a grand total of $6,441,580.86.
Thank you.
And I move we approve this.
Motion by Commissioner Martis,
Support.
supported by Commissioner Ungst. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Criminal Justice, Commissioner Collins.
Justice met on the 6th of the month. Sheriff reported that he is, for at least current time, at full staff in the jail and at dispatch, short on patrol, but has 3 potential officers in training. The booking renovation is close to completed. Emergency management reported that there will be ALICE training in this building shortly. Medical examiner we'll have an annual report, I believe next month. Marie Spear Campus project is over 40% done. And there is at this time scheduled an April 2nd tour of the Marie Spear Campus renovation. Further questions?
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Terry. IT and equalization will be presented by Commissioner Collins.
IT and equalization met on the 6th also. Computer replacement is ongoing. The phone refresh program is now in the 911 center working on that. That's a replacement of all the phone processes. Security cameras are updated in judicial building. The MDT replacement, for those that don't know, that's the computers that are in the patrol cars of law enforcement, they are being replaced, and that will be in process all the way through all agencies in the county. In equalization, change to assessed values has been sent out, and pictometry files will be done on the 26th through 29th of the month. Oh, there's a new member. Jennifer Ambrose gave a report on the digital communication report for the county.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Collins. Personnel, Ways and Means, Commissioner Martis.
Thank you. Of course, we met yesterday in this same room. I believe the minutes are in your packet, and everything we worked on was in the consent agenda with the exception of the appointment of the Bridging the Gap Subcommittee.
And that'll come up later, right? Thank you. Questions? Thank you, Kevin. Policies and Procedures, Commissioner Collins.
Policy and procedures did not meet, as the remaining policies that we want to go over, that we wish to go over, have been sent out to the department heads and staff for them to go through to see if there's any recommendation changes, they want to make before it comes to the board.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Collins. Physical Resources, Commissioner Krasny.
Physical Resources met Thursday, March 6th. As you know, there's been a lot going on with the Marie Spears campus. So we talked about that, some of the roof repairs. Additionally, we discussed judicial elevator equipment replacement. We also discussed, an action item was to replace the judicial chiller control panel. And we also purchased a used minivan for the Physical Resources Department. We closed out some projects. And as you know, we had Commissioner Ed Scheffler there, and we discussed the Red Mill Dam project and a lot of good activities going on there for the county and some grants involved with dam risk reduction grants. And we further discussed the ongoing Marie Spears campus renovations. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Commissioner Krasny? Thank you, Commissioner. Board appointment reports, Ag Advisory has met, Airport Commission, Commissioner Collins.
Airport Commission did not meet as there was no business for the agenda.
Community Action Agency, Commissioner Stimson.
Yes, agency met, had a presentation on the migrant programs at Lenawee Community Foundation's boardroom. And that was last Thursday. Otherwise, it was standard business.
Questions for Commissioner Stimson? Thank you, Commissioner Stimson. Community Mental Health Authority, Commissioner Stimson.
Also met about an hour before that meeting for Community Action Agency. There was a pretty standard meeting there as well. A lot of concerns and questions about some funding as the federal money kind of affects their Medicaid waiver programs.
Questions for Commissioner Stimson? I'm sure a lot of our departments and areas, especially like Wellwise reported, there's going to be a lot of questions with the budget monies as they go forward here. So
yeah, both those. Community Action Agency probably is about 70% grant funded from the feds. So they're in flux, and our community mental health has a large chunk from the feds as well, whether it's directly from the federal government or federal government to the state government. So to do a lot of the work that they're doing, it's all in flux.
any others? Thank you, David. County Planning Commissioner and Commissioner Blanco.
Yes, that met on February 20th and was a short meeting, my first one. And there was just two things for review at that meeting. It was a zoning amendment to a Rowan Township parcel that was recommended for approval. And then a master plan from the Village of Cement City, consideration of that. That is in the packet if anyone would like to see that.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner. Department on Aging, Commissioner Collins.
Department on Aging met on the 27th of February. Unfortunately, lacked sufficient numbers, but there was a great deal of information addressed in the meeting. Department on Aging, you move forward with the assistance technology program via the phone trained to help homebound people. Carrie can explain it much better than I if you have any questions on it. Say the St. Patrick's Jigs dinner, the corned beef and cabbage dinner will be March 13th at the center. There was a warning put out about scams for the elderly, and the Department of Education is working on training there. April 24th is a senior resource fair Is that at the center or at Fairgrounds? Center, okay. And there were two new applicants, I believe, which the board acted on yesterday for the health department. Rest is in your packet.
Thank you, Commissioner Collins. Questions for Commissioner Collins or Director Repetero? Any questions for either one of them? Commissioner Ungst?
Just for clarification, there are still a couple more openings on that board, correct?
Terry? Yes, there are.
Any others? Thank you. Department of Health and Human Services and Medical Care Facility, Commissioner Tillotson.
We met a different day of the week every time this year, and we're gonna do it one more time. But general discussion of businesses in general, just nothing in Pacific.
Questions for Commissioner Tillotson? Thank you, Ralph. Emergency 911 District Board, Commissioner Collins.
Emergency 911 Board did not meet since our last meeting, as they meet every other month. The next meeting will be tomorrow at 3 o'clock in these chambers.
So that'll be a report out at the evening meeting.
That's correct.
Thank you. Health Board, Commissioner Collins.
Health Board met on February 19th. They indicated they have free radon test kits available. There was a review of the process from the Center for Disease Control on Risk Assessment Placement. The Personnel Health Department is working on accreditation. There are new flu and COVID test kits available, while septic applications are up. Influenza and norovirus are up, and I can attest to that, believe me. And that was it.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Terry. Homeland Security and Emergency Planning, Commissioner Collins.
Unfortunately, I was unable to attend that meeting because that's when I had the influenza. The director is still here. If there's any questions do you want to address to him? I understand that the tactical gear that had been applied for through a grant was swapped for cold weather gear and entry tool packs. Am I correct? Okay. There is a training program set for a train derail activity. This is a tabletop exercise at the Madison Township Fire Department on the 18th of this month. And Jennifer Ambrose was added to the board as the media representative.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Terry. Land Bank Authority, Commissioner Collins.
And bank did not meet.
Lenawee Transportation, Commissioner Tillotson.
They met on the last Thursday of the month. Everything just general, again, seems to be going all right. We had a rather short meeting because she had to go to another meeting. We will meet on the last Wednesday of the month.
So that'll be reported out then at the evening meeting. Okay. Very good. Thank you. MAC Finance and General Government Administrator Murphy.
The MAC Finance and General Government Committee meeting met on March 7th at 10 o'clock. We had a presentation by John Lindley, who is representing the Michigan Manufactured Housing Association. He reviewed all the rules and regulations surrounding manufactured housing. We don't like to call them mobile home communities. They are manufactured housing communities, we were advised. And we were also advised what the local governments can and cannot do. Then Dina Bosworth from MAC did update us on some of the discussions that are going on in Lansing surrounding budget. One item that I found concerning is that one option in the proposal decreases the county's statutory revenue sharing. This is the amount that we had received prior to the increase last year. They're looking at a 1.9% decrease of what our revenue sharing was. However, good news for roads. It looks like the road funding is going up. The sales tax that is at the pump may be replaced with something called a gas tax, which means that all of the roads will be all of the funding coming in will be subject to Public Act 51. And I believe that's about it. If you want to add anything else.
No, great report. I'd just say one thing for local communities. The Michigan Manufacturing Association, is that what it was? Or home, what was their title? The person that was,
The Michigan Manufactured Housing Association.
yeah, for local jurisdictions, a lot of good information there differentiating the old system and the new system and what can be done and how they have to be. You have to go through the state and not local planning. So for your local communities, I think, don't you, Administrator Murphy, if they had the association there, they could answer a lot of questions for them.
They did, and we actually had some participants on the call that did have some questions about some of the manufactured housing communities within their cities that were in disarray and wanted to know how they could get some enforcement agency to come in and correct that problem. So hopefully there'll be some resolution to that.
Thank you, Administrator Murphy. Thanks for that report. Questions for Administrator Murphy? Judiciary and Public Safety by Deputy Administrator Elliott. Anything?
MAC Judiciary and Public Safety met on February 24th of 2025. We had a presentation from Doug Lloyd, which is the Eaton County prosecutor. And when that presentation was on the separate tax limitation ballot language. I'm not going to go into much detail because that will actually be moved to the General Finance Committee. So you guys, I'm sure, will be bringing that back shortly. Our second conversation really kind of rallied behind MIDC. MIDC, or the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission, is looking to add more people to add indigent juveniles into their coverage. There was also further conversation regarding the definition of indigency and what level of indigent we're using within the courts, whether it's a court-defined indigent, whether it's MIDC defined indigency, or whether it is the federal poverty line. So looking at how do we create a better continuity of what indigent actually means. And then funding between MIDC and the inactivity with prosecutors in both budgets and staff. So the governor has some a budget to supplement prosecutors, but that's only in 15 of the most violent cities in the state of Michigan. That's not across the board in the state. So there is some supplemental budget from the governor for prosecutors, but again, only in 15 of the most violent cities. Other than that, there seems to be some disparities still amongst MIDC or the Indigent Defense Commission and prosecutors in budget and staff.
Questions for Deputy Administrator? Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate you serving on there for us. So Marie Spear Campus, Commissioner Collins.
Spare campus been on the first Wednesday of the month. Still having problems, obviously, with the administration building conducting repairs, which requires staff to operate out of some of the offices of the staff, creating some kind of problems. In fact, we met at the chapel because we couldn't meet in the building. They're having staff meetings all over the place, taking 26 total residents, one half of which were from out county.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Collins on Michigan Works.
Wow. Michigan Works met today in a joint meeting with the Michigan Works Southeastern Workforce Development Board and the Michigan Works Consortium Board. Rather a lengthy meeting, several resolutions passed by the consortium board having to do with how funding is operated and how funding is reached out to individuals involved, contract information, how that's done, assisting in the payroll process, enhancing technology development among particularly the youth, funneling kids to youth development programs, assisting in the interdepartmental operation. And then there was a presentation given by staff from both boards of Michigan Works. Unfortunately, both myself and Commissioner Van Dorn had to leave a little bit early for the presentation to get here on time.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Terry. Parks Commission, I believe, will be reporting out at the night meeting, correct?
Yes,
Region Two Planning, Commissioner Tillotson.
Region Two Planning will meet tomorrow at Adrian County Library.
We'll put that on for the night meeting also then, okay.
Yep.
Solid Waste Material Management, Commissioner Stimson.
Met on the 5th. There was a discussion, various different levels about the future of the plan, what it looks like, how it's going to be affected, ordinances, what scopes and stuff, but we'll just label it as general discussion. Otherwise, it was business as usual.
Okay, questions for Commissioner Stimson? You will be happy to know for your committee, the one that you go zero, remember that one a couple months
It's
ago?
the organic compounding, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
posting.
Adrian College has picked that up in their program for entrepreneurship. And they're going to be doing a presentation, working together with those people, so.
I know they also contracted with some arrangements in the city of Tecumseh as well, so.
Oh, okay, good. Worked out. Thank you. Questions? Substance abuse disorder, Commissioner Tillotson?
I was not able to go to that meeting. David, did you go?
I met with the Oversight Policy Council because there's 2 groups that meet up there. And right now they're going through some of the grant proposals. They had another, approximately $2 million for the local PIPs. Now the local PIPs means the Livingston, Washtenaw, Monroe and Lenawee counties. They had twice as many applications as they did for what money they had. And so they were parsing out some of those applications and using their scoring rubrics to determine what ones they might be selecting to help with. It's mostly digital upgrades on various different mental health and SUD treatment centers.
Questions for Commissioner Stimson? Thank you, David. Liaison appointments, MTA, Commissioner Ungst.
I have a conflict in my schedule to attend those meetings, so it's been deferred to Commissioner Blanco.
Commissioner Blanco,
Which one? I'm sorry.
Michigan
Oh,
MTA.
yes, I attended that last month. It was, I know that Kevin was there too. We talked a lot about the what's going on with the road commission and the changes that they have. And I will defer Kevin to add anything that he would like to add to it.
No, that's correct. And they're headed towards appointment of new officers. I introduced Commissioner Blanco to everybody and let them know that she'd be taking over for me. And because it was meeting in the road commission office, because it was on a holiday and the human services building was closed and the road commission office was not, naturally the discussion revolved a lot around roads.
Yes.
Thank you. Questions for either one of them? Okay, thank you, Commissioners. Road Commissioner, Commissioner Martis.
We did meet last week. And as always, it's a struggle because that meets at 9 a.m. and AP is at 9:30, so I have to scramble. The big item of business now is this is the season where they continue their meetings with each of the townships to lay out the work that they're going to do in each township. And I'm always impressed when Director Merlat shows how much money our local units of government contribute towards their road improvements relative to other counties. Our local communities and townships step up in a pretty substantial way to make sure we have high quality roads in their districts. So they've become good partners with the townships.
Great. Questions for? Thank you, Commissioner Martis. Veterans Affairs, Commissioner Collins.
Veterans Affairs met on the 14th. Minutes are in your packet. I always fail to mention any names, and you have to understand veterans have right of privacy. That's why you'll never hear me mention who applied for what was done. But there are concerns about future, as we've said earlier, future operations and funding at the federal level. Vet Fuel Program gave out 5 fuel cards for $50. Veterans Relief Fund issued $2,331 for house repairs for veterans.
Questions? Thank you, Commissioner Collins.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Collins.
I have to apologize. I believe I said earlier, Land Bank did not meet. They did meet. I found my notes here. They met on the 25th. received an application for a property on Howell. The request for a driveway on Liberty Street, which brought up a lot of questions because it's just a drive, and there were questions about who would have the right of way, who would service, who could access. So that was put off for further discussion. And then there was a report issued on the inventory of property in the county.
Thank you for that. Questions? Thank you. Unfinished business, Bridging the Gap Subcommittee. I believe we have that finalized. Administrator Murphy.
Okay. In your packet, you will find the final version of what we proposed as the committee members for the Bridging the Gap Subcommittee. Did you want me to read through those, Chairman?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this committee will be consisting of Judge Todd Morgan. He is the district court judge representing the government sector. Monica Hunt, who is the Lenawee County Health Officer representing public health. Sarah Palmini is the office manager representing the medical examiner / coroner sector. Gary Clift is a citizen representing the community member sector. Brana Kali, CEO of Lenawee Community Foundation, is representing the community impact and advocate sector. Terry Collins is a parent representing the parent of a loved one with SUD sector. Sheriff Troy Bevere is a sheriff representing law enforcement. Catherine Suchek is the executive director of CMH representing the mental health sector. And Jim Van Doren, our board chairman, will be representing the government sector.
That's the committee we would like to appoint, and that's the recommendation. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the committee.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by
Martis.
Commissioner Martis. Thank you. Couldn't see that. Discussion. Commissioner Ungst.
I'm good with the selection. Just a point of clarification, will there be something put in there if you're voting on funds involving your department?
Oh, yeah.
So-
Trust me. Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be- Yeah, they have to abstain from voting if it's affects them. We tried to keep it so there weren't a lot of those in there, but it's always going to be possible.
Right, yeah. and-
Commissioner Stimson.
Yeah, the county has this countywide policy for its conflicts policy was reviewed maybe 6-9 months ago, something like that. And so that would apply to any of the standing committees.
Great.
Any other questions? Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Committee is appointed. Thank you very much. New business, any other unfinished business from anybody? New business, Maurice Beer Campus Tour. Terry, you to announce that, right?
I did, when I reported out in Marie Spear, it's April 2nd at 2 p.m. Excuse me, April 2nd at 1 p.m. And it will be a tour generally of commission members and those members from Department on Aging who will also be part of this.
Okay, mark your calendars, everyone. It's going to be great to see that facility and see what's going on out there. So we're very fortunate that our administrator and deputy administrator participate in these. And as we talked about yesterday, it's great networking and it has a great opportunity to help us as a county working together with other counties. So I've asked them both to report out if they would on their current conference that they attended.
I will get started. So when you did that, I did put a little something together in writing, although I will not read the whole thing for you. But yes, the Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority, for those of you who aren't aware, they are our risk provider that provides our auto liability, our property insurance. They have a conference twice a year. One is in the spring held in Lansing, which is a legislative conference, and then they have another conference in the fall. So the one this year was held on February 26th and 27th, and both Deputy Administrator and I did both attend. Our opening session was with Tim Skubic, who provided a political update. Any of you have heard of Tim Skubic? Commissioner Krasny, apparently you have.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
He is quite the character. He did provide us some inside scoop on some of his interviews with some of our state level legislators. So I do appreciate his directness and sense of humor. It was an entertaining session. After that, Deputy Elliott and I split up so that we can maximize our ability to learn from the different sessions that were provided. And the first one, the track that I took was the leadership track. The first session was called The Importance of Civic Engagement and What It Means to Our Communities. And the main message, the main takeaway here was that to continually be engaged with our community by defining our goals, being transparent, and being inclusive of all of our residents, and also to be committed. We had a general session, which was a panel of attorneys from various law firms providing legal updates on marijuana facilities and the revenues that were generated from those facilities, and as it applies to MMRMA, what constitutes a claim. The second leadership session that I took was entitled Why People Work: Discovering Your Employees' Hidden Expectations. Surprisingly enough, employees don't work just for their paycheck. There are other reasons why we all work. Some of the things that we did learn, I am actually hoping to implement in the near future with our staff. The final session was by Anthony Grappito called The Magic of Hope. This session encouraged us to be aware of our mental health, and he reviewed practical tools and advice that we can use to help ourselves and others who may be feeling depressed or in a mental health crisis. So I don't know if Deputy Elliott wants to talk about the sessions that she took.
Sure. The first session that I took was Artificial Intelligence in Public Service Governance and Your On-Ramp to Success. This was a presentation from Jim Karp from Raymond, as well as MMRMA, in which they talked about the fact that AI is here, it's coming, it's staying, and it's an opportunity for government sectors to get on board and create opportunities for their staff to streamline things, to create better better information, quicker research, things of that nature, and developing policies and procedures around that AI to make sure that that is governed appropriately. My second track was public building security strategies to reduce exposure. That one, we actually talked a lot about emotional support animals versus actual, service animals. So we had a lot of conversation about what you're allowed to bring into a building, what you do not have to allow into a building. We also had some conversation on First Amendment auditors, as well as just mitigating risk through things like technology, cameras in buildings, training for your security guards, training for your bailiffs, and things of that nature.
Great, and thank you both for attending. Bringing this up to speed in Lenawee County, appreciate that, so. Public comment, limited public comment for people, 3 minutes. We have one person, Anthony Morabito. Did I say that right? Well, Anthony, step up and give us your address, and you have 3 minutes. And normally the commission does not answer. We take your comments.
Okay. My name is Anthony Morabito. I live at 5550 Inkster Road, West Bloomfield, Michigan. I'm a senior manager with Cordelio Power and their project development group. We're a renewable energy developer and long-term owner operator of wind, solar, and energy storage systems across North America. We're excited about being here in Lenawee County working on a wind energy project. Excited about the millions of dollars in tax revenue it could bring the community. And really generally encouraged by the broad support we have in the community. We have over 27,000 acres of land signed, folks who want to participate in the project. One thing that I did want to share, something I've been hearing at the township meetings I've been attending, a little bit of misconception on one of the studies that's underway. We did file an FAA evaluation. It's an exhaustive list of all of the locations we could potentially site wind turbines. It's in no way indicative of the number of turbines that would actually be built. So just clearing the air on that, there were over 200 locations that were submitted along with that evaluation. Reasonably, we would expect to see closer to 60 turbines placed, given the size of the project and the interconnect application that's also in review. So just wanted to clear that up because it's been a common question I get when I talk to folks. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Public comment? Commissioner comments? I have one before we start. Fourth Thursday, March 27th, 6 p.m. The County Commission will have an evening meeting. That's the fourth Thursday, March 27th at 6 p.m. Commissioner Martis.
In response to the Livingston County resolution with respect to the legal appeal of the order implementing PA 233, I just wanted to give you a quick update. In addition to Livingston County joining that appeal, at least by resolution, Baraga County has also joined. There's now 120 local units of government involved in that appeal. 79 are on the appeal itself. The others have joined just basically by resolution. I don't think they're actually party to the legal action. We got new news as well. Farm Bureau has joined in on that appeal. MTA has joined in on that appeal, and the House Republican Caucus has joined in on that appeal as well. There was also legislation introduced earlier this year by Representative Greg Alexander from Huron County to repeal Public Act 233, which will be in addition to the Senate language introduced last year, which would be a straight repeal of PA 233, which is the legislation and of course is enabling these developers to move forward here. So we'll see. A lot will change depending on the outcome of the gubernatorial election in less than 2 years now.
Commissioner comments? Thank you. Announcements? Any commissioner announcements? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Tillotson, supported by Commissioner Martis. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. We are adjourned.